these people. So yeah, I'm gonna buy a plow, man.
I'm gonna plant that corn.
Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that air.
You.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem for hundreds of years?
Yeah. Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated
against?
You don't
have to, you just
I didn't get that loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the loan.
I planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically it did grow, but it ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP XO tree. I'm getting in some niche esoteric cognac humor.
See?
Oh, good job.
There's no racism. There's nothing like that, Jayar. You don't have to fix a problem if the problem doesn't exist.
Yeah, they never said the N-word, so all that's fine. This is the basis for the way that we like to, it's the basis for the way that we would like to characterize who the racists are in this country and who the people who are having platforms like this perpetuate and push this kind of racism. This isn't new. This is nowhere new. The minstrel show he's got up there, all he didn't do was slap on some black paint and red lips. It's the only thing he didn't do.
Which he certainly has in the past.
Absolutely, because when you think this is all just fun and games and there's telling a few jokes and what do you know, this is what leads people to believe it's okay to then mistreat folks in policy, in justice, and in the way that you spread things out. So that when things do get changed, you now have somewhere internally, because you've listened to people like this long enough, you go, well, yeah, these black folks have bad credit. That's why they got their loans denied or delayed. Just make that assumption. You know why? Because all black folks are going to do is plant some Hennessy and VSOP, because it can be over the top enough because people embedded in their brains, I hate this human being so much, I don't have to consider them being anywhere normal.
Ellen Page, beloved actress of the United States, is now a man. Privilege card is now removed. Came out as Elliot. By the way, Ellen Page is now confused. Elliot Page. Yeah. Just be ready for the attacks, because as a straight white male, you are given no quarter. And this is something that's been a long time coming. And here at Loud Cut, we actually have the exclusive of the upcoming first performance of Elliot Page.
Oh, God!
Earlier.
None of it made sense. Part of it makes me so happy because you know that like there is an attraction. You know that they get a little aroused by it and they hate that about themselves. Also, just like a side note, Steven Crowder, are you wearing a gun holster?
He is alone in a basement with his friends, and he lives a life of such fear that he has to be armed at all times. That was one of the saddest things that I've ever seen. I understand that right wingers hate and fear and are suspicious of transgender individuals, and so they like the idea of laughing about it. But like, are they laughing when they see that? Was that like Steven Crowder telling those jokes and getting that like polite laughter from his friends?
From his
That's such
best
a sad
friends.
Existence.
From his
like
best
they didn't think
friends.
it was funny.
All right, so what we are going to do here is place four people right there, Token in the same scenario that Kyle Rittenhouse found himself.
Right.
And see if they're able to make this shot in the bicep. So, who is first? Who's going to go first?
Here we can bring in our
Antifa, Black Lives Matter thugs. You guys come on in.
Come on in.
Take your positions. In 3, 2, all right, skateboard his head. Brain thee, okay? Boom, bow, okay, clear malfunction, now go. See if you can get in the bicep. Nope, you missed. He missed.
So this is everything about this is absolute and total garbage. It's this instinct that just by being terrible, you're somehow hilarious. It's dismissive, sure. But I mean, if you want to do the actual Kyle Rittenhouse challenge, you start in Illinois, you ride a bus for a very long time, can you still believe that it is a good idea to go to Wisconsin? Is it still a good idea to buy a weapon you are not old enough to possess? is it then still a good idea to go try to find camaraderie? Like, can you still be confident in yourself as a person to find camaraderie in this weird militia movement where you're gonna go shoot at people who are upset that somebody was killed?
Yep.
And then you're going to provoke folks, and then you're going to get, like, is this fun for you? You never should be in that position. And this is just Steven Crowder trying to put this into the framing of a conversation. The only thing you should be focused on in the Kyle Rittenhouse case is whether anyone could actively shoot someone's bicep instead of killing them in a moment. He didn't just find himself on the floor there. So many things go into the Kyle Rittenhouse challenge besides just, all right, we find our hapless protagonist in the middle of a street as he's being attacked by a skateboarder. That's not what happened.